Yo, so this video is going to be a small explanation on how I got to Artifact A without any diving gear, because people want to know and they want to do it themselves. I'll try to explain how to do it yourself. It's pretty difficult and it'll take some trial and error, but you definitely, I think anybody can do it. I'll also explain like some of the history and why it's so useful, especially for owl speedrunning, and I think it'll just be interesting. So basically the main core of the glitch is that on some spots on the volcano wall, if you hug it with your head on the wall, it'll count your depth as 0 and you'll be able to regain and you won't take any oxygen. So you're able to just breathe underwater basically. The thing is, not all of the wall has it and it's kind of inconsistent. So basically what I did is I got diving gear and I just repeatedly checked every side of the wall and checked if it was taking up oxygen. So on the diving gear it'll say if it's depth, what depth it is. So whenever it said depth 0, I would mark it down on a map, and I just did this for a really long time. It took a long time. Vagne also helped me a little bit with it, thanks to him. Birdman was the first person to find out the depth 0 glitch, and so he thought about using it with the volcano back like a year ago. And so me and him tested it out back then, and we had no progress at all. Nobody had the time, or it was just too tedious to test, so nobody did it until recently when me and Fagname decided to get together and do it. And so once we figured it out, the reason that it was so important to the community is because it really saves so much time on true speedruns. The route has changed so much and it saves so many minutes. It's one of the biggest skips in the whole game now. The skip is so good that it literally helps with every single category on truth, with macros, 2-player, no macros, and portals, each on 2 players. It helps on all of them. It's incredible. So conceptually, the way that you do the depth 0 glitch is you go to a spot in the volcano on the wall that's depth 0, sit there for a couple seconds, and then move on to the next spot. It's pretty simple, but you know, it's very punishing. So if you fail, you'll die and it's over. So what I would recommend is you first learn it with diving gear, then you can check if you're in the right spot, and you can practice going from one spot to the next safely, and you won't die. It'll take a while. It's not gonna happen in 5 seconds, but it's a really cool trick and it's worth it. So just keep on practicing it with diving gear. Practice going from one spot to the next spot with diving gear, and then try it without. And then once you feel like you've got it down, do a different spot to another spot. So let's say the first spot to the second spot. Let's say you get the first spot to the second spot down with your diving gear. Now try it without diving gear. If you feel like you're really comfortable with it and you're doing it consistently, now try going from the second spot to the third spot with diving gear. Practice it, and then once you feel like you've got both of those down really consistently, you can then try going from the first spot to the second, third spot without diving gear on the whole thing. So if you just keep on practicing that way, eventually you'll get it. It might take a couple tries and you might die a couple times. You might take a while. It might take like an hour, it might take 30 minutes. Matters how good you are, how lucky you are also on finding the spot. Okay, walk through time.
Work it, fix it, rock it, move it,